Now let's talk about the causes of the dynamic wall obstruction. That means what causes that visible obstructional cause. Now to understand this, let's say this is the bubble wall's lumen. This is the bubble and this is the lumen of the bubble wall. This is the lumen of the bubble wall. Now there are three different varieties in which you can cause the mechanical obstruction. Okay? There are three different obstructive components. There is three different, I would say broadly classify them into three different causes, right? One, if the source of obstruction is inside the lumen, we call it as intraluminal obstruction. If it is arising from the wall, if something that is arising from the wall of the bowel loop and then causing the obstruction, this is called as intramural, that is arising from the wall. Another one which is going to be compressing from outside. So there is a mass or a lesion that is present on the outer side which is compressing the bowel wall. Now as it compresses the bowel wall lumen, let's say this is the mass, right? This is the mass which is compressing the bowel wall lumen. You will now notice that this mucosal membrane along with the bowel wall is going to get collapsed because somebody is exerting pressure from outside. Because somebody is exerting pressure from outside, and this is what we call it as extraluminal cause. So there are three different varieties, or there are three different basic causes how a bowel wall can be obstructed: inside the lumen, from the wall, and there is outside the wall, right? So this I would call it as the intraluminal cause. This is what we call it as the intraluminal cause. This is from the wall itself, so this will be called as the intramural cause. This I would call it as the intramural cause. And if it is outside the bowel wall, this is what we call it as the extraluminal cause. This is what we call it as the extraluminal cause of the bowel obstruction. So there is intraluminal, there is intramural, and there is extraluminal causes of bowel obstruction, which is going to cause dynamic bowel obstruction.